brothers and sisters of Biafra, members of the international community, and all those who stand for justice and human rights across the world. I greet you in the spirit of truth, resilience, and the unbreakable will of our people. Today, I stand before you not merely as an individual voice, but as a representative of millions who have been silenced, marginalized, and denied their fundamental rights to self-determination. I speak for the voiceless, for the oppressed, and for those who have endured decades of systematic injustice. I speak for the Igbo nation and the people of Biafra, who continue to demonstrate extraordinary tenacity in the face of adversity that would have broken lesser peoples. Let me be absolutely clear in my primary message today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released immediately and unconditionally. His continued detention is not merely an injustice against one man. It is an affront to the principles of international law, human rights, and natural justice. It is a stain on the conscience of Nigeria and a test of the international community's commitment to the rule of law. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya in a manner that violated every known principle of international law. He was abducted, tortured, and brought back to Nigeria in chains, stripped of his rights as a British citizen and as a human being. This is not law enforcement. This is state-sponsored kidnapping. This is not justice. This is vengeance disguised in judicial robes. The courts in Nigeria have spoken. Multiple rulings have declared his detention illegal. The Court of Appeal discharged and acquitted him, yet he remains in detention. When a government defies its own judiciary, when it refuses to obey court orders, it reveals itself not as a democracy but as a dictatorship. When rule of law is replaced by rule of force, we must all recognize that we have descended into tyranny. I call upon the Nigerian government today. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Obey your own courts. Respect international law. Demonstrate to the world that Nigeria is indeed a nation governed by law and not by the whims of those who fear the truth. Let me speak plainly about the man whose freedom we demand. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. He is not a terrorist. He is a freedom fighter, a voice for the voiceless, and a man who has sacrificed his comfort, his safety, and his freedom for the sake of his people. What is his crime? He spoke the truth. He demanded accountability. He called for self-determination, a right enshrined in the United Nations Charter. He refused to be silent in the face of marginalization, discrimination, and the systematic exclusion of his people from the benefits of the Nigerian state. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu displayed extraordinary courage when he chose to speak truth to power. In a nation where speaking against injustice can cost you your life, he stood firm. When many would have cowered in fear, he raised his voice. When others sought safety in silence, he chose the perilous path of truth-telling. His courage has inspired millions. Young people who had resigned themselves to hopelessness have found purpose. Communities that had accepted marginalization as their fate have begun to demand dignity. His voice awakened a sleeping giant, the consciousness of a people who remember their greatness and refuse to accept permanent subjection. Even in detention, even in chains, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's courage continues to shine. He has not recanted. He has not begged for mercy by betraying his principles. He has not traded his people's aspirations for his personal freedom. This is the mark of a true leader, a man whose commitment to justice transcends his personal welfare. I salute his courage. History will record that he stood when others sat, that he spoke when others whispered, and that he sacrificed when others calculated personal advantage. The struggle for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release and the broader quest for Biafran self-determination must be understood within the context of Igbo history and character. The Igbo people have demonstrated throughout history a remarkable tenacity, an ability not merely to survive but to thrive in the face of unimaginable adversity. Consider our history. The Igbo people have faced genocide, economic strangulation, political marginalization, and systematic exclusion. After the Biafran War, in which over 3 million of our people perished, many predicted that the Igbo would never recover. They said we would be permanently broken, forever relegated to second-class status in Nigeria. But what happened? Within a generation, the Igbo had rebuilt through sheer determination, through enterprise, through an unquenchable spirit of resilience. Our people rose from the ashes with no rehabilitation, no reparations, no apologies. The Igbo people demonstrated that our spirit cannot be broken. This tenacity is not accidental. It flows from our culture, from our values, from our fundamental understanding of human dignity. The Igbo worldview recognizes the inherent worth of every individual. Onye agana n'ụwa ya, let no one be left behind. This principle drives our communal support systems, our commitment to education, our entrepreneurial spirit. The Igbo concept of Igwebuike, strength in numbers, collective power, has enabled us to survive as a people. When the Nigerian state abandoned us, we built our own schools. When we were excluded from federal employment, we created our own businesses. When we were denied infrastructure, we built our own roads, provided our own electricity, created our own water systems. This is not just survival. This is a testament to human resilience. It is proof that you cannot destroy a people whose identity is rooted in determination, whose culture celebrates achievement, and whose spirit refuses to accept defeat. Our people have succeeded in every land where we have been given the opportunity. From Lagos to London, from Abuja to Atlanta, from Port Harcourt to Paris, wherever you find the Igbo, you find achievement, enterprise, and contribution to the host community. This is not coincidence. This is culture. This is the result of values that emphasize education, hard work, and excellence. Yet, in our own homeland, we are told we do not belong. In Nigeria, where our people have contributed disproportionately to national development, we are systematically excluded from leadership positions. The infrastructure in Igbo land remains deliberately underdeveloped. Federal projects bypass our region. Political appointments ignore our qualifications. But still, we persevere. Still, we build. Still, we educate our children. Still, we contribute to the economy. Still, we refuse to be broken. This tenacity that characterizes the Igbo people is the same spirit that drives our quest for self-determination. We are not seeking handouts. We are demanding the opportunity to govern ourselves, to manage our resources, to chart our own destiny. We know that giving freedom, giving fairness, giving the opportunity to control our own affairs, there is no limit to what we can achieve. The detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the broader Biafran question will not be resolved by force. History teaches us that you cannot imprison an idea whose time has come. You cannot detain self-determination. You cannot chain the aspiration for dignity and freedom. The Nigerian government must understand that the Biafran question is not about one man. It is about millions who feel excluded, marginalized, and denied their rightful place. It is about communities that have lost faith in a Nigerian project that has consistently failed them. The solution is not detention, it is dialogue. The answer is not suppression, it is negotiation. The way forward is not through military force, but through honest conversation about restructuring, about federalism, about allowing regions to control their resources and their destiny. I call upon the international community to pressure Nigeria to obey its own court orders and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I call upon human rights organizations to continue highlighting this injustice. I call upon the United Nations to remember its own charter that guarantees people's right to self-determination. To our people, I say, remain steadfast. Our tenacity has brought us through worse. Our resilience has overcome greater challenges. Continue to build, continue to educate, continue to demonstrate the excellence that defines us. Our struggle is just, our cause is right, and truth ultimately prevails.